What's going on? My name is Jason McDaniel with Stoneman Construction. We're working on a backsplash here today in Lake Oswego, Oregon. Templating has become maybe one of the most important things that I discovered a few years back. I was working on a backsplash and I didn't want to have to deal with the herringbone pattern that was in there and measuring and making cuts, and so I decided to make a quick template, overlay it, trace it, and install it. It just opened up a whole world of possibilities in tile. Check this out. Today we have this mosaic going on a backsplash here. So you can see how difficult this would be with the wall plates and plugs. We're gonna get going on making a template. I'll show you kind of some quick, easy tips to make this quicker. I've pre-cut my risers for the plugs. They don't have to be perfect. I made them a little loose so that I can adjust them up and down as I install them. So I'm gonna glue this template up real quick. We've got Luan strips. I've seen plastic strips being used. I've seen people using sheetrock shims to do this. This seems to work the best. When you do this, it is very precise as long as you follow all the little rules here. When done right, this can save you hours, days, even weeks, depending on what you're working on. What I normally do for most areas is I'll put a little dot of glue on the template strip and just tack it to the wall. I want a tiny bit of expansion here, so I'm gonna hold it up a little bit on that countertop so that we've got some expansion. You can see I'm leaving, 1/16, an eighth of an inch down there. You just wanna put a little dot on there. You don't need much. So you can see all I did, a couple of dots, tack that up. I've put my Schluter up there already because we want something to trim that out. I used the torpedo level to make sure that it was level. That's one of those little details that you want to make sure is nice. You can see that this has already been templated, and I wanted to show this is a really cool example of what happens if you miss something on a template. It doesn't really, you can glue any piece on there to make this work. I put some indicator lines on here so that I know where my plug cutouts are, and I put an R just so I know that this is my right side. Let's get back to this template over here. Again, you can see that I put my Schluter on the wall, so it is ready to go. It's nice and level there. I've got some sticks here that are kind of pre-cut. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this piece on there like that. It'll be right up against that Schluter. Obviously we wanna have that detail nice and clean, so we're just gonna glue this up here like that. I've got this piece here that's gonna go there. So all you have to do is just put a couple dots on there like that. My glue gun finally started working. So you can see there's nothing to this. I leave a little bit of room there on the edge. And then when it comes down to doing the plates, I pre-cut these so they're already ready to go. I can just put a little dot on them. Nice and easy, just glue it right up next to that wall plate right there. And then got another one here ready to go. A couple of dots, and I can glue it up there. And then for the top and bottom, same thing. A couple of dots here. Making sure that I leave room for the deco screw there. That's an important thing. I purposely left this little spot here, if you can see it up there, because I wanted to show how easy it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can take a little piece, put a little glue on it, and just tack it up there, just like that. Leave a little bit of room. And then once it's glued, the templates don't have to look pretty. I cut this piece here to fit up underneath for the cabinet scribe. And as I put it up there, you'll see that it fits nice. It's pre-cut, ready to go. Leave a little bit of room up against the door or against the window sill there. And then again, with the wall plates, you can just put a couple of dots on. If I were to do this template start to finish, it would probably take me 10-15 minutes. So it's a really easy process. Obviously, when we do the install, we'll pull the screws on those and pull those plugs out. So I've got one more wall plate to do, and then this part of the templating is done. I'm going to show you how we transfer it over to the tile. We'll be right back. So now that the template's done, you can see it's 100% complete. It's all glued together. It's tacked up on the wall. I want to make sure that we mark it. You want to know what's the front, what's the back, what's the top, what's the bottom, things like that. So good thing to do is just, you can go in here and put arrows around the plugs like that. You can write a B on here for bottom. Obviously with this, we don't need much. We've already laid this material out on the ground, and we got a straight edge here so that we know that we're straight. So what we can do is we can pull the template off the wall and transfer it down to the tile and figure out our layout. That's another really amazing thing about doing a template, is that it makes layout much easier. We don't have to find the center of this. We can just transfer that template around until we end up where we want to end up. Cool, so we've got our template done and we've got the tile laid out on the floor here. So what we've done is we've taped it to hold it in place. For just ease of install, we want to do the points on the bottom is where we're going to start. So all we do in this case is take a Sharpie and just trace it out. You can start here, just trace, and then just follow that like this. Pretty easy. The most important thing is that when you cut this, you remove the line. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a phone call, somebody saying, it was a little big when I was done. Did you remove the line? Well, no. That's going to be your problem. So you're going to trace a line on this template. When you cut the tile, remove the line. Obviously, if it's an exposed edge or if it's up against Schluter, you're going to want to take your grinder or a scoring pad and ease it over a little bit, take off any of the chips. As long as you remove your line, this process will be absolutely perfect. I don't remember a time that I did a template where it didn't fit perfectly when I was done. We're going to get this cut and installed, and at the end of the day, we'll show you what it looks like. Posse up.